Night in the afternoon, after the media briefing, we had Unit 1 of the Kusile power station tripping, which cost us 720 megawatts. Matimba Unit 5 also did trip during the night. Together, those were responsible for 1,300 megawatts of capacity lost. That's why we had to implement the load shedding. Firstly, yesterday, 3 hours earlier than we had actually planned. And due to those and the fact that we had to rely on the emergency generation reserves, that's the pumped storage and the diesel, through the night, while we were returning 3 units, Kusile, Midupi, Kusile, Matimba, and Henrina Power Station. Overnight, we still had to rely on the diesel, which now needs to be replenished. So we will do this load shedding all the way up until Saturday, because during this week we will return again Unit 1 of Kubek power station. It will be at full capacity come Saturday, and that is when we will be able to take off the load shedding.
A large emphasis of the presentation yesterday was on your long-term maintenance program. But there starts to be questions now about whether the problems are really with maintenance or is there sabotage?
We can only make such a claim about sabotage when we have evidence to back it up. At this point, we do not have. We do, however, have a lot of issues with regards to manpower, because machines generally need human beings to work on them. And a lot of our problems can also be attributed to manpower. And by that, I'm not talking about willful sabotage. I am talking about discipline and the way of work. We certainly can say that about the units at Kusile last night. So a lot of focus is going into managing the people as well, because the whole country suffers as a result of load shedding, and there should be consequences for employees who may not have behaved or done their jobs in the manner expected of them. That is the biggest focus. Indeed, the maintenance is delivering good results. You will have noticed that we managed to go through the winter with less load shedding than we normally would have. We didn't load shed for 3 weeks from July all the way up to the 22nd of August, and we then had to implement load shedding during September. Today is day 13. This is lower than we did in the previous year. Still not good enough. So the maintenance that has gone into work now has delivered on the units that have been maintained, but unfortunately there are far too few of them than the rest of the 70 generation units that we still have to go through. I will answer hopefully the question that you were just about to ask. How long does it take? It takes on average 6 weeks for a generation unit to be turned off and for refurbishment to occur on that one. And while that has to happen while the unit is off and not delivering electricity, which by its own does increase the risk of load shedding.
So when Eskom starts to make commitments such as there won't be any load shedding during the election period, one starts to wonder, is Eskom totally in control of this?
The commitment that Eskom is making is that we are doing everything to minimize possible risks to load shedding during the election, and indeed after the election. This should be an everyday occurrence. The work that I've just described now going into the weekend with the current load shedding, it is to replenish the emergency reserves to make sure that we have an additional 3,000 megawatts coming alone from the OCGTs, the open cycle gas turbines, to be ready and to be rolled out during next week. We are also expecting, in addition to that 1 unit of Kubek, we're expecting 5 other units to return to service during the course of this week, which will put us in a much better position for the rest of next week, and hopefully indeed for the coming few weeks and months. This is the high maintenance season. where a lot of the machines are out on planned maintenance, we have then had these unfortunate breakdowns.
The National Institute for